Hey everybody! I hope you're all doing well. I have a really cute project to share with you today. It's a pretty quick project, and with some tweaks, you could definitely mass produce this for your holiday cards. So we also have a couple sneaks in this project of items from the upcoming release, and that's coming October 13th. So pretty quick, it's right around the corner. Here's the card that I'm going to be making today. I'm going to be putting a different spin, a different variation on here so that you can see how this looks with different color combinations. In here on my sample card, I have a kind of a teal color pattern paper in the background. This die, oh my goodness, I thought I turned the volume off on my phone. Let me see if I can turn the volume off while I am on the phone. It looks like I can. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I have a teal pattern paper in the background here, and then this is new. This is the mini Slimline geometric cutout panel die. It's gorgeous. I'm going to get really close on that pattern. I love it. I think it's really pretty. It makes a really nice background, and it's super easy. You just cut it out once, and then I put it on top of pattern paper, but you could even layer this white on white, and it would be very classy looking. I used the mini nativity die. This I think was released last year from Trinity Stamps, but it is just the most adorable little nativity scene. And then this one up here is another sneak peek of a new product coming next week. This is the Glory in the Highest die set, and it's super pretty. I love it, and I backed it with some vellum. I'm going to show you today how you can just quickly create. I fussy cut with my scissors and just quickly created a little backer to help that stand out more. Let's go ahead and look through the products. I already talked about the sneak peeks, the sentiment die here, and the cover-up die in the background. We're going to be using that mini nativity die set from Trinity Stamps. That is in the shop now. This was from a previous release. I used pattern paper from the Autumn Rainbow 4x9 Slimline paper pack. And then I just have some other things here ready to go to create my card. Let's go ahead and start. So I went ahead and did all the die cutting needed for today's card. So here's my cover-up panel, and then I have a little dish over here. You're going to see, like I said, I changed the colors. So on my sample card, I went with a blue background and some gold foiled cardstock in the foreground. I'm still sticking with that Autumn Rainbow Slimline paper pack, but I thought how fun would it be to use different colors so that I can show you how easy this is to create using different color combinations and create a whole bunch of them for your holiday cards. So this time I grabbed this kind of mustardy yellow color. I thought this would look really nice in the background, kind of like stars shining through the manger scene. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then I did all my die cutting here out of some of this pretty purple foiled cardstock. I happened across this as I was die cutting pieces to prep for today's video. I found just a little bit of this color left, and I thought, well, that would be perfect. I love purple and yellow together. I think it looks super classy. So let's go ahead and pull this card together. It's going to be a pretty quick one today. I have already, like I said, I've cut this out already. I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid adhesive. If I had thought about it before die cutting this cover-up panel die, I would have added some double-sided adhesive. That would have made it a whole lot easier to adhere. But as it is, I'm just going to go around the main points. When I'm adding an intricate die or like a patterned die to the background, I find an area that I can quickly and easily just add little dots of glue to. I find that that's just easier, and so I go all the way around the edges, and then I found this little dot in the center here and added just a tiny little dot of glue, and then I'll add to the bottom. So basically, you don't need to add adhesive everywhere, all over your cover-up panel. You just need to add enough that it's going to stick down. And really, you could probably get away with just going around the outside edge, but I like to add some of that stability towards the center part too. This is the color I picked from the Autumn Rainbow Slimline paper pack, and I could cut it to size, but I'm not good at really remembering measurements. So here's what I like to do. I just like to add my panel. And again, this is new from the upcoming release. This is a sneak peek at a new die. This is the mini Slimline geometric cutout panel die. I'm going to add this onto here. I don't know why it doesn't want to stick. So I'll give that a good press. I'll press from the back. And then I'm going to grab scissors. And here's my trick. This is what I like to do so that I don't have to measure, because I am super bad at measuring. And then, you know, the whole measure twice, cut once thing, that never seems to work out for me. I still cut wrong all the time. So if I add my panel onto there and then add my adhesive on top, there's no thinking about it. It's cut to the perfect size. I'm going to add something heavy on top of that there because for some reason that doesn't want to stick today, and I've never had that happen. So I'm going to put that, my Misty is always my handy dandy little heavy tool. So here are some of the dies that I cut out. This is from, again, another sneak peek, the mini, or the Glory in the Highest die set part of it. So I cut out this sentiment die, and when I went to add this on top of my panel, it didn't really stand out. So what I did was I grabbed some vellum, and this is what I do all the time if I have something that isn't quite standing out, but I really wanted to use this purple on top of the yellow. I grabbed a piece of vellum and just kind of held my die in place, and I used my scissors and I fussy cut around that. So now I have a nice little shadow, and that's going to help that stand out. We're going to do that with this little mini nativity die set. I'm going to show you how I put this together and then how I'm going to trim around this. So let's go ahead and add this piece first. Again, just adding a little bit of adhesive. And I just have a piece of vellum kind of randomly cut in a blob shape. I'm going to grab my Trinity Stamps pickup tool. I think that's going to make my life a little bit easier trying to add these little tiny pieces. So I know I want the manger to be in the center here. So I'm going to add a little dot of glue, and I'll grab that little manger. I think I put that dot a little bit too low. I probably could go this way. That might be easier, but then I picked it up off my pickup tool. My goodness, I feel like all the struggles happen when you're live. I'm going to use my little pokey tool that's on the other end. I love this pokey tool for getting things lined up. So I'm just trying to eyeball this little manger so it's in the center and kind of lined up with the bottom there. Now I'm going to grab my little Mary and Joseph, and I think this would be really a quick and easy card to kind of die cut a whole bunch of pieces. Maybe while you're watching a movie or something, put this all together. So Joseph is going to kind of go right here, and I have my little kneeling Mary. She'll go right over to the right here. Just trying to keep things pretty level and straight. And then I have this mini nativity die set cuts out a bunch of these stars. Now technically I know this big star should probably be above the manger here, but I wanted to put it into my sentiment to kind of balance that out. So I'm going to take this other little star here and put that right up in the top center of this manger. So I'll just add that right there. There's my manger scene all assembled. Now I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, and I'll show you just how I quickly cut this out. Vellum is it's pretty thin and easy to cut out. So I just pretend, like, you know how when you're fussy cutting an image and you leave that little bit of a white border? That's all I do. I just kind of quickly go around, kind of moving my left hand, my non-dominant hand, moving the paper, and keeping my scissors straight, and really quickly just cutting a border. quick and easy. And now that's going to stand out right against my background. I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive. Again, this is your sneak peek for today. I'll add some little dots. And then I'm going to put this on the vellum backer that I already cut out just to save you some time. Because that's a pretty simple trick. I didn't think you needed to see it multiple times. It's definitely not something new. Something that I know I've been doing for years, so I'm sure you guys have too. I'm having a hard time actually getting the glue onto the die cut today. I think I'm hitting my mat more than I'm hitting my cardstock. Here we go. So I'm just going to line this up. Again, this is one that I already fussy cut out. I'll line that up, get that adhered. Now, when this die cuts out, there is this little piece here. And these words, I don't know if you can see because it's kind of little font, but this is where you have the in the, so it'll be the glory, and it'll say glory in the highest. You can pop out these letters and have, you know, a big piece of purple or whatever color cardstock you have here and have it be a negative, but I just wanted to have those letters. So I wanted to have them perfectly spaced because I am not good at keeping things perfect. I want to keep them in this negative die piece. So I'm going to grab a little piece of masking tape. I'm going to put that right over my words, and I'm going to kind of press them from the other side into that masking tape. And then I'm going to go with my adhesive and add tiny dots, trying to stay just on the letters because I don't want that big piece of the banner to adhere. I just want those individual letters to adhere. I'm going to peel this back a little bit, and then we're just going to pop this into place, just like a puzzle piece. And once I have that die cut piece in place, I'm going to peel back my masking tape, and then I'll go ahead and grab my pickup stick again, and I'm going to slowly peel up on the large piece, pressing those letters in place as I go. This takes just a little bit of time. I hope I actually got glue on the letters because they don't want to stick today. This takes a little bit of time, but it's a whole lot easier for me than having to try to line them up without this guide. There we go. So I have my first, and then I'm moving on to the. I don't know how much adhesive I actually got on here. I'm having a hard time seeing where the glue is going today. Here we go. Oh, maybe they half popped out. It seems that always the technical difficulties happen during the live, because when I did this at the beginning of the week, it was perfect. And now it doesn't want to work. Here we go. Got it. Woohoo! I must have had a little snag that didn't want to lift up. So there we go. Now I can throw away that negative piece. And now here's where I was saying that large star is probably meant to go above the manger, but I kind of wanted to have something on this side here balancing that out. So I'm going to grab that star and add some adhesive right in the center, not even really bothering to go out to all the little points. And I'm going to put this guy right about here and give that a press. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Oh, much better. So here's my card base. The mini Slimline geometric cutout panel die is 3 by 6 inches. And I wanted to have this matted on a card base that was a little bit bigger. So I'll probably have to custom make an envelope for this card, but that's okay with me. I cut a piece of cardstock to be 6.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide, and then I scored it and folded it in half. So my finished card size is 3.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to have a 1/4 inch border going all the way around. I'm going to grab some foam tape and pop this up for some dimension. And again, I like to give you guys card ideas that you can easily adapt and change around a little bit and mass produce. So this is a really simple card design, but to make it easier, you don't have to pop this up with foam. You could add it right onto your card base, and that's going to save you a little bit. You don't have to back your die cut pieces with vellum. That would save you a little bit of time too. I'm going to line this up as straight as I can. I apologize if my head gets in the way. Unfortunately, my camera is mounted above me, which I feel like is normal for most of us who create videos. And so when I need to look overhead of my card, you get to see my big bald head. There we go. That is pretty good. I see a tiny piece of cardstock here that's driving me nuts. Got it. So on my sample card, I added tiny little bits of foam adhesive behind my sentiment and my little manger scene. And that's something else that you could skip if you want to make this even more quick and simple. I'm going to go ahead and add the foam. I know that it takes a little bit of time, and I know it's annoying to sit here and watch me add foam, but the finished project looks absolutely 10 times better, I think, with a little bit of foam. So I'm going to go and add my foam adhesive behind the chunkier areas of my die cuts. So this manger scene here, we've got a lot of chunk here. We've got the roof and kind of the sides. Mary and Joseph, they're a bit thicker, so that's easy. This sentiment die, though, that's a little bit trickier. But if you just look, like I said, for the chunkier areas, so like where we added that big star, I'm going to put a piece there. This is kind of like a handwritten sentiment, so it has the thicks and the thins. I'm going to go just where there's thicks, so on the downstrokes of the letters, and just add some little pieces of foam here and there. And I'm making sure that I have some at the top, at the bottom, and then some in the middle too, to make sure that my card doesn't collapse. But in this middle part of the banner, there's really no thick lines. So I'm going to rely on the tops and the bottom and the sides kind of to hold this panel up. So I'll add, again, just along the thick parts of the letter. This really doesn't take a super long time. Just keeping it under the thick parts, and there you go. I'm hiding it behind those thick parts so you won't see it from the front. Then I'll quickly remove all of those backers. I'm going to bring in my little, this is my little, I call it my trinket jar for my desk. It's where I put all the pieces that I'll be using to create a card. And then once I've used all the pieces, I can put my garbage in there. Sorry if you can hear all the cars in my neighborhood. I live on a main street. It's definitely a residential neighborhood, but it's the main road going through my neighborhood. And it's a bit warm out today, so everybody's out revving their engines again, giving their last hurrah to summer, I guess. Now I'm just going to add this. And I like that you can add this at a slant or straight. I'm going to go pretty straight. And then my manger scene is going to go down at the bottom here. And I'm just eyeballing this to line this up straight. And I think that is finished. You can go ahead and add some gems here and there around if you want to finish that off with some gems. I left it plain because I used that gold foiled cardstock, and so I don't think it's really necessary. So here's the two different looks. I used the same products for everything, just changed the colors a little bit. So this one has that teal background with some gold. That's my sample. And then this is the one we just finished really quickly today. I used kind of a pinky purple foil cardstock and a yellow background. And those patterns are both from the Autumn Rainbow Slimline paper pack. There you go. quick and easy, and with a couple little tweaks, you can definitely mass produce this. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember that a couple of these products that I used today are coming up on the 13th from the new October 2021 release. So you're definitely going to want to stick around the rest of the week. The other members of the design team are going to be showing some fabulous sneak peeks. And then on the 13th, you're going to be able to purchase these products. That's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.